Alright, brilliant. Welcome to the VOD of the game, which I should have reviewed a while ago. This was the game where we said we had quite a lot of strengths and weaknesses to cover, so it should be a nice game to talk about where you guys went well, and what games you could have improved on. What games? What parts of the game you could have improved on? Because they're important. Improving at the game, top notch. So we're going to go through that. We're going to hope that we covered a lot of the points that we were trying to talk about last time. So that means playing the comp correctly and stuff like that. Now this was, I think, overall pretty clean game. There were some issues with team fighting, which I think I'm... Is this the game that I wanted to review? Whatever, we're doing it anyway. Fuck it, let's do this game. Unless this isn't the game we wanted to do. Was this the game where I could have told you guys to just fucking group and... No. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Alright, cool. So, let's see what we got going on here. Like, your comp is very much a straight team fight comp. You're really looking to incentivize pressure around bot side, because bot has a lot to gain from you giving them an early lead. Not to mention they're in a losing matchup. Oh, this is the game, yeah, because of the game where I mentioned that you didn't give enough attention to bot lane. So yeah, your bot lane has a lot of strength through ganks. You can 3v3 very easily. Not to mention they're in a losing matchup, which they can turn pretty easily if they're ahead a couple of kills, because they're playing against double squishy. And red side bot lane decide to be pushed in like AFK. Alongside this, we have the Anivia versus Jhin matchup, which is troll as shit. Easy for Anivia. She can glide through that matchup. And then Malco versus Shen, which is a losing matchup, but not hard losing, as you'll see shortly. The only issue you have to recognize is that they have Twitch, who is really good at cheesing the fuck of people. Right, okay, cool. So first things to mention, bot lane have a delayed entry into lane, so you can pretty much guarantee that Twitch is going to want the leash. So he's looking... so Twitch is going to want the leash, so it's like 95% sure that Twitch will be starting bot side. We recognize this later when we were discussing the game. This kind of gank that he's pulling off here, kind of... You would assume that this is the kind of gank. How has he got stealth for so long? I swear. Okay, whatever. So yeah, anyway, so you should have assumed that he was going to gank like this. You didn't. You forced the firm flash. Not too big a deal though, because the wave is pushing into you, which is quite fortunate. You can regen, you have a load of pots. Top side at this point should be looking to push in, try and gain minion advantage, and look to force Shen to CS on the tower. This gives you two things. Well, I mean, that's probably the reason why you're pushing it now. He can't trade with you early game like at all, while taking a fuck ton of minion damage. And losing CS on the tower is very easy when you're playing at like early levels, because you just don't have the AD to last hit on certain levels. This gank is really good. You force his flash, walk away. He trades with you, which is fine. You force his flash, it's really important for you. Top stays pushed in. Now, at this point, in 3 minutes, you know that if Twitch is doing a normal pathing, he should be ganking top at like 3:30, so you don't need to ward yet. But I think you're going to do that anyway. Yep, you ward. It's not a bad ward, it's just inefficient, because you know that from ganking bot lane, he still has about 45 seconds before he's going to start ganking. Warding there as well. Did you ward or did you sapling? Oh, you sapling to ward it there. Okay, yeah, no. I was going to mention the ward there. Not as good. That ward is fine. If he ganks you like this, you want to ward here. If you're going to ward against Twitch, because warding here is useless, because he would stealth when he's running up to here. Right, I'm going to let Cameron do its thing. So yeah, this is what I mentioned from the start of the game. Bot lane had just been pushed in super hard. And this is a fairly easily gankable lane. Not now, because bot have such a big deficit. But before... And you could probably still gank this lane, actually, considering they're double squishy. And they don't really have anything to stop you from... But you have quite a lot of burst. By the way, so they're pushing you in. Really good catch here. So, yep, you go for the gank, which is really nice. You force his flash. Wait for him to burn flash, then go for it. Trading here at this point. Oh, is actually alright, because you have condemn. You forced his flash too. That's great. Just shove in the wave with them and let it push. So Twitch, okay, so one thing, I'm just going to pause here for a second. Bot just died, alright? Mid, ungankable in this kind of situation, because you can see he's getting pushed in. The only lane that Twitch can gank is you. So, your reaction at this point in the game should be, I have to play safe, I'll let the wave push into me. So anyway, you continue to CS normally, and then this kind of gank, yeah, probably doesn't go too well for you. Early flash is really good. I really like seeing early flashes, because you either way, you were going to have to flash there. So flashing early is really smart, especially because if you don't flash early, you're in danger of something like Shen taunt flash, which is definitely would have led to your demise. So he's looking for a repeat gank here, but you're not really gankable at this point. So just letting the wave push into you is good. You can just grab that wave and then either back, stay for the next wave, or you can back and then TP in. Alright, cool. First thing I'm going to mention is vision here. We have 5 trinkets up and available, and none of them are being used. Obviously, one of you is back. One of you's in base right now. One of you's pushed in, but it would be nice to see trinkets used more widely in general. When you have a wave pushing in like this, obviously you want to be there to grab the gold. But in situations, maybe you want to look to call for your support, to not ward in these areas here, and instead use your trinket to, oh, by the way, you should be trinketing here anyway, because if he comes along and clears it, then you have no vision. So trinketing over the undead wards is still quite a smart thing to do. So yeah, have your AD ward here and here, and then have your support take opportunities to roam to ward up here, to ward here, to ward here, even to ward here in cases. Just a good idea. So anyway, bot lane starts pushing back in again, and you know from the gank earlier that they have 0 summoners. So at this kind of point in the game, as you know that red's coming up, Misty, it's under a minute, doesn't really give me exact timers. Rip. You can either gank mid, which is here now, gives you really good timing on your red once you've completed this gank. Free kill as well, especially considering you burn a suit. Really nice. Okay, so now just pathing down to your red, or invading his jungle. You wouldn't have known he was doing this, but invading his jungle here to set up vision to cover his red when he takes it would have been good. Pathing down to do red buff as well would have been really solid, especially because you can't really gank bot lane with Vayne available and open. This I don't like as much, because Twitch is probably going to want to do his blue buff and then go up and take another camp. Oh wait, no, because his red buff's not coming up because he ganked bot lane. Actually, no, this is fine. Yeah, I would have preferred you to do red camp and then to it, just in case you find a point of contention. You'll then have buff advantage on him. But this is fine. You really should be taking your red buff, your primary buff, before you take secondaries, unless you're looking for like a clear, efficient path. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking for a way to get multiple camps in one like rotation, so from here to here to here to here to here to here, and get a full clear. I don't know if you were timing your wraiths for them to come up after you've done that, but that would be really good if you were. You can path into here like right now and just set up for a free gank. I think pathing like this, don't know what you're searching for. Really, you have 2 choices here in my eyes. Would be to oh, I see, because mid's low. That's what you're looking for. Just gonna let this play out. Cool. So we burn Maokai TP a little bit late, but it's not too bad. You force egg, which is nice. I think you could have pathed. I think pathing could have been better there, but it's a good situation nonetheless. I think the Maokai TP was a little bit late, but either way, you secure a kill. It's really good, and you force Shen up, which is really nice. Misty, you want to like look at this point just to clear your double buffs and just get back to pushing out priority on lanes, because you're missing out on a lot of gold by mob. You could have pathed around here and dodged the ulti. Okay, so cool. So you're leashing blue. Top's pushing in because Shen forced his ultimate, and so he stayed mid. You get to push that wave out, make him miss CS. Bots at deficit because losing matchup, obviously. Vision here, if we look on blue side, kind of sucky. Again, yeah, like everybody has trinkets available, but they're not being placed down really. It's kind of just a waste of wardage. You really could just be placing these down and using them. It doesn't matter if you use them efficiently yet. Just getting the habit down of using them would be really nice, because just like vision support, man. Like top, especially top, when you're pushing in and you got double trinket up and you're not looking to ward here, ward down here, walk up here and ward for your mid laner. It's need to get those wards out. It's free vision, gives you so much power over the enemy. So yeah, lane should be resetting soon. At this point in the game, you really could be looking for Ocean Drake. Even though you have bot disadvantage, you have a lot of catch, and they're running quite a squishy comp. Not to mention Chanel is down and will be down for a while. So doing red buff and then looking for that dragon here would be really nice. You clear vision of it, which is really good. Spot the pink buff. The pink ward. Once you've cleared that, I really think starting dragon here is cool. Or you can do red buff. I think if you're going to do that, then bot lane needs to hard shove this wave and the next one, and look to set up dragon, as well as mid, looking to see if they can rotate down. Just shoving in this wave at this point is really good for you, especially because you want that dragon pressure. There we go. So yeah, you start shoving in the wave. Why is he pathing like that? You get to just wall him off. Yep, nice wall. It's the free kill. Okay, really good. Get a kill on Varus. That's fucking great. Dragon's free here. You didn't clear the pink, did you? Or did they repink it? Assuming they repinked it. Starting Dragon's really good here. You also could have chosen to just do first tower bot. I think first tower bot here's maybe a better choice, considering you just got that AD and you kind of need the roaming pressure because of how heavy they're sitting on you. Instead, you see AFK support for some reason hanging around bot lane by himself. You can catch him out really easily. Yeah, just fucking walk up and stun. Okay, using E here, you could have just walked up and then QE'd her. She wouldn't have been able to use spells for longer. You also could have baited out her E, and then you wouldn't have taken so much tower damage. Obviously, in that situation, it doesn't matter. But in other situations, just walking up and just using... Okay, I'm going to pause here. Because he pathed down, just walking up to think means you can make him expend spells, and you can focus on dodging them and taking reduced damage. You take tower aggro for a less amount of time if you get J4 to set it up better, and it generally just gives you an easier time when you're setting for a tower dive. This doesn't matter in this situation, but in other situations it's really important. This applies a lot to junglers, but it's really useful for like laners for like heavy CC as well. Just walking up and just autoing first and waiting for them to use something before you confirm CC. If you've been at a lower HP deficit and you still want to be the primary man tanking tower, that would have saved you HP. Anyway, so yeah, you get first tower, which is really nice. Really good push after dragon. Super strong. He dies to Krugs for some fucking reason. Top lane is just AFK farm lane at this point, which is good for you because allowing Shen to not get any kill advantage on you, and then like you function so well in your team comp that you really don't need to do anything. It's the same for mid as well. You've got like a big kill advantage at this point. Pressuring him and looking to just farm out waves is the best choice you have. Alongside that, you could actually be looking to scan for more vision coverage. They have 4 pinks down now. Okay, they have 5 pinks, and we have 1. It's a shame that their vision control was so much better, even though you're 7 kills to 2. It's a bit odd. Not to mention they're supporting what I've talked to Misty and Overlord about before, which is what I call the ward line. They're holding vision at each control point that you'd be passing by if you were looking to path offensively into the jungle to gank. Obviously this has failed for them. They've died like 4 times to a gank, I think, in like 12 minutes, which is depressing. But the idea of it is still really strong, and if you look on blue side, not really maintaining that kind of idea. Top is warded fairly well, but they still have ways to path to get access to your jungle, especially in top side. But obviously, maintaining first tower, getting first tower, and you just being there has meant that you've been able to enable more vision here. But as you can see, your wards are... Oh wait, no, you have undead ward, so you should be... Oh, do you have undead ward? I don't know if you have undead ward. Who is it? Who owns this ward? I can't tell. But setting up this kind of vision is really good. You just need to make sure to spread it out to make sure to cover key access points. So that's here, 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 and here. Not to mention, at this point in the game, you want to see to cover here, to cover up here, 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 and obviously across this line. Because the way your pressure's working right now is that your line is basically comes all the way up there. So any vision or any entry point beyond that point, you need to have covered. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So yeah, look to do that. Really need to look up your vision, because this is actually I wasn't really paying attention to this, but this is weaker than I expected. And I think a lot of vision like errors are kind of covered by mechanical success, and obviously we have fairly proficient players. You're all pretty strong in terms of actual gameplay, so don't let that be an issue for your your don't know what to call it, your macro stuff, I guess, in terms of vision, coverage, pathing, and stuff like that. Anyway, so I'll let the game continue. At this point, just grouping mid, top even, with like a 5-man, or using a Nivea TP to force down tower top would be great. You can siege mid at this point, but you'd be looking for a dive, which obviously is awfully risky, considering they have Shenol and they have you have fairly limited vision, and they have quite good catch. Anyway, so Twitch ganks you, you take 0 fucking damage. TP from Anivia is really nice. A little bit late though. You should still be able to secure kill though. Nah, unless Twitch. No, I guess not. By the way, you can still force tower here, which is not the best. Could have TP'd early and got the kill, but it doesn't matter, because so long as you use the TP correctly, then you haven't really made a mistake. Is he just gonna try and taunt you? You can get kill here anyway. Yep. Okay, cool. I actually think I would have preferred if you go and stun out first there, but that's like an idiot thing. Because he has a dash, there's no point like walling like that. You could have I don't know if you'll like this kind of criticism. You can feel free to tell me. I don't care. Don't tell me how to play my champion. You could have walled here. He would have think, oh, I can just path this way, and then you could have thrown stun that way. And then even if he taunted, you might still have got stun and been able to secure something. You know, you forced Hurst out, which is really nice. You should really rotate down now for Rift Herald, because that's like the only objective available to you apart from mid lane, but it's really easy to take considering you just got first town and a load of vision set up around it. So yep, you do that. Setting up somebody to go cover bot and somebody to cover mid, so Nivea mid preferably. Yeah, you're doing that already. This is really good lane coverage right now, because you only need to cover 2 lanes and you're covering them in the way that you should. So i.e. the pressuring lane has a lot of wave clear, which you want, and then have just Maokai farm whatever's excess, you know, whatever carries can't get to. Not to mention he still has TP, so he's got a lot of pressure. Nice stun. Yep, I think forcing that kill even with the missed ult is really good. I guess you didn't have any stun to stop it. Maybe it wasn't good. Let's replay that. Or let's see if I can replay that. I don't want to break it. Okay, cool. So you forced the ult there, which is really good. You double flash on him, which is nice. I don't think... Okay, that might be an issue. You forced the ult and you don't really have anything else available to you, so you effectively lock yourselves into a small area where he can hit his E and eventually get a knock up on you. That guy was like 100% dead. You could have held out and then waited for Thingamajiggy to start ulting and spook him possibly. And Nivea also wasn't as pushed up as you guys went in, so she couldn't set up anything to stop him from going. Does that mean that's on cooldown? Or does that mean how many points you have in it? Let's go back again. Oh, please don't break. Okay, cool. So one thing that maybe Satsu could have done is wall him. Yeah, if you had wall available there, you can ward there, wall him, and that's actually a knock up and does stop his thing. Oh, clocking there. Okay, you're fine. That Twitch tunnel, I remember this. fucking idiot. That's really good. I don't think Maokai TP was necessary there. So it was good that you didn't burn it. You have egg, don't you? Oh yeah, you're fucked though. Yeah, good luck, friend. Okay, cool. So actually TPing there might have been a good idea. Oh, you did. You TP'd in. This is actually good for you. You can just ult him. And just, yep, nice ult. Okay, I really like seeing Maokai ults like that. Just starting it behind you, so but like technically ahead of them. Really smart. I haven't seen Maokai's doing that much. So yeah, good job. Nice to try and stop his back if necessary. Okay, well that's fine. At least they don't have both clear now. You can actually get this tower if you just walk up to it with Leona. Leona, yeah, Overlord, you should be parting with him. I'm assuming you're looking to set up vision, but it's unnecessary and you really could have forced tower first. This point in the game, just having a 5-man mid, especially with your kill lead, would be really smart. You have a lot of catch and can just basically completely annihilate somebody before they can do anything. You just have to be wary of the retaliation damage that they have, especially in something like Vel'Koz and Twitch. Dead? Holy shit, this guy is like solo carrying a team. Alright. So, Missy's looking to clear out his jungle, which is really good. You got a lot of downtime right now, and Anivia can definitely cover waves. So you don't feel okay, well, unless you take that. You should be aware of the fact that you have like almost no vision around what's going on, and you can't afford to even try and catch somebody out like that, considering how much shit they have to throw out at you. I've asked him to set up vision more clearly, so you can try and make like plays like that, where you have more knowledge around what they can retaliate with, and or just realizing that your role in that kind of situation is really just wave clear. Great catch though, making sure you already know Vel'Koz is ult down, so they really have nothing available back to like blow you up with afterwards. Not to mention, like, Vayne on the side, she can actually get out damage now because there's no tower in the way. So really good catch, using Herald really well, so long as she doesn't hit the fucking tower. No, he didn't hit the tower, I think it's fine. So yeah, you should be able to force that double tower here. Brilliant. Yep, you force out 2 towers. Straight rotation, have one person rotate down to bot lane to catch the wave and have everybody else go to dragon would be really good here. Oh wow, you're free kill, right? Nice condemn. Well played. Yep. So I think somebody should be farming bot here. You definitely don't need a fight. You don't even need like 3 people here anymore to be dragging out that their jungler's dead. You know that they have 2 people mid, 1 person top, and 1 person dead. You could for sure just have like 2 people back, 1 person go push bot lane out, and then have somebody reset and be ready to cover top lane when that comes up. Talking about like player positioning and whether it's necessary to be participating in something is actually really important. A lot of times you'll see like quite a you know, team wide like unison. Oh, we'll do this together because we're a team, and obviously it's important. You don't want to be a fucking dickhead to your players, but just calling out, I don't need to be here. I could be doing something else ahead. Like Vayne going, you don't need me for DPS. We have Anivia to help you with dragon. Instead, let me go grab top wave because that's like 12 CS and like, well, like 250 gold. Mystic going so hard. You got really fortunate with their parting it, but this was still really well played. It wasn't a great team fight, but it doesn't matter too much because you can get a lot of damage out of them now that you burned a lot. I really think you could be pathing more aggressively here, considering their potentially strongest players are down. Yep, this should be catch here. Have you got ult? You don't. Yep, that's the kill. Really well played. Anivia going bot was super smart. You get to cover the wave and set it up for another tower. I think you should be 4-man rotating into this tower because they don't really have the options to defend it at this moment. That's cool, right? What a fucking idiot. You got super lucky there, especially with that kind of pathing. I think either setting up for that tower, or now potentially setting up a Baron would be really good. You do have a decent 20-minute Baron with Anivia available. So yeah, you go ahead and stop Baron. I really like that. They don't really have any options to cover it. You see Vel'Koz bot side, and you can't really rotate to stop this quick enough. Not to mention, you have 2 lanes pushing in at this point. So if they try and stop you doing Baron, you can walk away and they lose minions. So this is a really smart Baron. I really like this. I just hope you use this correctly. You do have a fairly strong siege at this point because you have crazy dive potential. They don't really have any wave clear options apart from Vel'Koz, and he's the one target you really need to kill right now, and he's really squishy. Anivia going top here is fine. I guess actually, how much gold do you have in the bank? Can I check that? I've forgotten how you check that. Is it O? O? That's not it. C, X. Okay, cool. So you have 100. Yeah, no, actually, no, you're fucking fine. If Maokai is TP, he should be walking bot lane at this point, because you can set up for a push wave back and then a TP gank in. You might be dead here, because Varus really should ult this. If you combine Varus ult with Vel'Koz ult and Thingamajiggy, they could have 3-man ulted to kill Alpharius, or what's your fucking name? Doesn't matter, teamfight breaking out. Really nice catch by Misty. Alpharius going in, good feint, deep. Okay, alright. I'm going to go over this teamfight again. And the issues with it. Let me pause here. Alright, cool. So, actually, we'll go back even further, shall we? Let's go back to 30 seconds. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're all fairly healthy, but Alpharius has been really chunked here. Now, you have really good catch potential, but that doesn't mean that you're basically your primary tank being low HP is a really good thing. Your pathing is way too offensive at this point. You're not keeping care of these guys, and this is why you get caught out. And so you end up taking a load of damage from the Varus ult that he gets caught onto because you stand still. And at this point, this fight is basically over. You're all fighting with half HP before they've even lost like any HP. Shen ult goes down onto this guy, basically giving him full HP back. And this is the reason why this fight doesn't go well for you. It's because you're no longer playing on an even playing field. You decide to take a load of poke damage and then start a fight. And so even though you trade evenly, and it does show that you're stronger, because you end up getting a load of kills, like Vayne still manages a 3-shot twitch. It doesn't matter because you've already lost a load of HP. So this fight ends up being like a 3-for-1, which is really bad for you given your lead. Is that a 4-for-1? No, you're fine. Yeah. And it's a shame because they're all on a sliver of HP, but that wouldn't have been an issue if you guys had fought correctly. Which is where you like, Anivia doesn't need to path into anything. You guys could have just totally let the front line just do work for you. Not to mention Maokai shouldn't have been on 200, like sub 1000 HP when trying to fight like that. You have TP available and you have Baron. You can just back and reset with TP and then look to siege. You have 2 waves pushing in, just having the Anivia path top at this point and just catch that wave and then back, whilst Misty should be backing immediately. This is the best choice here. Hanging around like this is kind of, it's really greedy, and the only reason why it pays off is because this guy's a fucking idiot. Not to mention, it's not really worth it. He was 3 and 6 before. I'm not sure how much gold he's worth, but the amount of gold you could have caught or gained is probably equal if you just, if Missy had reset, Setsu had gone top immediately, and then you both return from base and be sieging already. Swings. So you see 3 mid. You have buffs up. Vayne should be pushing this wave out and then going for red. Meanwhile, Substitute takes blue. This is good. Having the Maokai just walk top is fine. There's really not much else you can do. I mean, you can group up, but with TP advantage, it's kind of a waste, especially considering you can actually, if you start a fight, because you're stronger, you can force Shen's TP first to ult, stop him, and then TP in yourself. Really smart catch. Immediate there. Maokai ult should hit somebody. Why is the camera here? There we go. Yep, you catch someone. This is kill. Nice ult here. Overlord, you're tunneling, man. You just got, if you go on the support, he dies instantly, and then he gets to walk away. Instead, you mixed it up, which is why you both died there. Really nice catch. Just look to get tower at this point. If you just if you have Setsu, just ult into a spot, then you can actually just force their parting in a certain way, and then they can't really contest you. Either way, you just dive them because they're weak as shit. Force inhib here, which is really good. Using this to snowball a second inhib is probably the best choice at this point. Looking for dragon next, hopefully, because you have pretty good dragon shred. Not to mention Missy's up in 4 seconds, so you can just do vision clearage. Vision has gotten better, but it's still not exactly what I'd like it to be. You have clumped vision, which is alright. It makes you less powerful when you're pushing, because you only cover certain entry points, and they could still path up this way and be completely unknown to you until a wave hits here. Not to mention there's literally nothing on this side. This dragon's fairly easily contestable. You just need to ult in like that. I hit you. That hitbox is nutty. That's really good. Yeah, that's a free kill for you. Pop that guy and then immediately ult the yeah. Turn on Twitch. What a flash. I remember this fucking shit. This was awful. So yeah, brilliant. You can actually just win here. You can just run it down. They surrender anyway. Alright, cool. Yeah, you could have just won there either way. So that was the game. To recap, I'm going to pause it. I can't just matter if I pause or not. To recap, let me just continue here. As I mentioned before in post-game, you guys had a really strong comp where, or really strong lead where if you play the comp correctly, you basically run them over. But a couple of things held you back. Obviously, that one team fight was a really good example of you guys not like openly giving yourself a disadvantage because you think you can brute force it, which is it's unnecessary. Like you're strong, but like fighting a fight like that just because you assume that they're not as good, which I mean they aren't as good as you. They were for weaker players for sure. But choosing a fight like that, it's unnecessary because you can just reset and you have a lot of options to play around those kinds of fights and to either to disengage from it or to, like for example from Maokai, like you could have just backed and TP'd back in. You have Baron. At that choice in the game, you no longer need to be looking for team fights. You just you walk up to their inhib tower, you Anivia ult one side, you wall the other, and they have no choice but to submit to losing tower. And then from that inhib, you can force anything. Instead you choose an option which gives them a way to get back to you, to find a way to gain a lead back on you. And also that didn't happen. It's a possibility, and especially when you're playing against teams of a higher caliber, like mid-plat teams, diamond teams, they're gonna find that advantage at some point, and you're gonna be like, well shit, we had a lead and we threw it. That's how you throw games. You can completely remove their ability to do anything from there, but you didn't choose that option. That's one of the big things I really want to see some improvement on is think how can we play this game out so they have no choice but to lose the game. They can't interact with us, you know. Not to mention, as I mentioned in the game, the vision was weak. Definitely could have been some improvement there in terms of vision. Other than that, unless I've missed anything I discussed in game, solid game, good. We'll see some clear improvement over the days. Especially, I'm just going to commend you guys now for the fact that when you do team fights, normally. They're normally super clean. You have a clear, concise plan of who's engaging, what targets you're prioritizing, and who you need to protect, basically. Most fights normally go super in your way. So, good job. Anyway, this should be the VOD of you for the game. Hope this is helpful.